Nerds! Let's hop on in and see what magical things lay in wait for us. Shall we? If it actually loads in correctly. There it is! It's time for Hero Fest, guys. And of course, it's just as we imagined it was. And that is Jenny, Ninian, Julia, and Ike. But we'll get into that in a bit. First, we have, of course, the starter event. That's what it's talking about. But also... Oh, apparently people had problems receiving login bonuses. Okay. Two additional orbs to everyone. Cool. So let's, yep, there's that. And there's that. And there's that. So that's nice. So there's the double daily orbs, as we were discussing before. Thank God that's actually a thing. Now you guys can actually, you know, roll a bit more on stuff. Hooray! Because that's all the fun stuff that's here. So let's take a look at everyone who's involved in the Hero Fest that's going on right now, okay? Alright. So let's take a look at details, and first up that was appearance, more info, that's what I wanted. Yeah, that. Ike is a very strong contender because, first off, he has Ragnall, which allows him to, counterattack at a distance, meaning that he has a unique ability that, several other strong units really just... I mean, it's pretty obvious as to why that is. I mean, if you want a good, strong red sword unit, Ike is a good go-to. He's a little bit more beefy than Ryoma, but still pretty good. Aether is a fun little ability, and Heavy Blade is a interesting passive, if I do say so myself. Moving on, we have Ninian, who I'm sure everyone's really excited to see, because Ninian, of course, is a dancer and also a dragon user, so a Dragonstone user, I should say. Pretty fun character, and since, you know, dancers are all the rage and really something that people tend to enjoy, Ninian is probably one of the better options, at least for blue. I like her more than Azura myself, but that's just, you know, how it goes. Let me just pull open her stats, because I was going to say something, but I don't want to be wrong here. Yeah, she actually has... Okay, I mean, she has better resistance than most, not most, she has better resistance than her defense, but they're both around the 20s, mid-20s, lesser 20s, and higher 20s for resistance, at least. But her speed, and she's not meant to be an attacker too much, but if you know, equip her maybe with Triangle Adept, she'll be able to do things. She's a somewhat beefy dancer, not as much as Olivia, but hey. Then we have Julia, which has Naga, which is always a fun tome that's effective against dragons, and has the, of course, legendary effect of having 14 damage, which is great, at least 14 might. Dragon Fang, she's a pretty powerful green tome user. If you want to get her, she can serve you fairly well. And then finally we have Jenny, and Jenny, of course, is a very unique healer. In case you didn't know what she does, it's mostly because, well, she has Wrathful Staff, which allows her to ignore the modifier that healers have, where if they attack, their attack is usually halved, because, well, apparently staff users just suck in that regard. So this this kind of undoes that? Undone it. It makes it undone. Oh, God, talking. Undoes it. Would probably be the better phrasing, but still, Wrathful Staff, pretty interesting ability. If nothing more, Jenny's a pretty good healer, but you can always just snatch that ability and give it to someone more effectual, which of course would be our good old friend Elise, or maybe Priscilla if you don't have Elise. So let's try and see what we can get here, shall we? Oh, of course. That sucks. I don't really want a Julia. I know that probably sounds really rude, but I'm not really into that. Just not too much. Also, I forgot to mention that this is, of course, oh, hey, it's Klein. Cool. I could use a better Klein. I mean, if not, Brave Bow is always a fun thing to get from people. I'm going to dip out of that one, and I'm going to try for an Ike and at least... Jenny, to try and get my Elise Wrathful Staff. As much as I like Jenny, I would prefer to have something more. Just saying. So let's see what we get. Oh, hey, it's Elowood. Great. well, that's about it for me. But, hooray! So there you guys go. Hero Fest has started. Hopefully you guys get some nice things. We have our video later today that will be, of course, our quiz. For those who don't remember, we will be having that later today, where you fill out 3 quiz questions that are hidden in the video, and then you have a chance to win a summoning session with me. I mean, that's basically all I have to say. I don't think there's any new quests outside the daily quests in Arena Assault, which are updating daily, of course. So if you haven't done Arena Assault, you can at least get some crystals and things like that, just for easier level ups. I mean, nothing more I can really say there. But yeah, Hero Fest is there. Apparently. As you can see here, the focus is at 5%, which is actually pretty good, and it'll go up from there if you, if you decide to keep rolling. So, there was a bit of a conflict earlier, apparently, when they announced this. They posted this a bit earlier, we're like, oh, hey, here's Hero Fest. People thought that it said after you summoned one unit with the 5-star rate, you know, the focus rate there, it would reduce it back down to 3%, but people were just, like, panic and fear-mongering, I think, there. So, just gonna tell you, pretty sure it's gonna stay at 5%. So, yeah, get to rolling. Maybe you'll get Ike, maybe you'll get Ninian, maybe you'll get Julia and Jenny. I'm sure if people are gonna be comparing this to last time's Hero Fest, which, unfortunately, not every Hero Fest is probably going to ramp up as, or be as good as that one. That one had Takumi, Ryoma, Hector, and Azura, who are all fantastic units. But this one is actually, I think, is fairly decent, pretty good. Honestly, this one is also really good. So these 2 summon banners both have very powerful units in them, and it's really up to you which one you want to go with. I say you can roll with this one because it has units at a more accessible level. So, yeah, take your time, see which one you want, and best of luck, friends, on the Hero Fest. I will try to roll for some in a summoning video a bit later, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, catch you guys later. I'm going to bed. Good night!